Oh man. Woo! Tell y'all, ain't nothing like working, man. My whole body is wet right now. Like this, my shirt up under this hoodie, it's so wet, soaking wet. You know, alhamdulillah for everything. I got 2 more days and I'm taking a month off um, until my family reunion is over. Alhamdulillah for that. You know, I get to see my family. I got a huge family though, man. I got a huge family. My grandmother had 17 kids, so you can imagine how huge my family is. Some of my family be watching this YouTube stuff and they be getting mad at certain dudes. And I be like, man, don't worry about them dudes. Them dudes ain't nobody. Them dudes just talking shit. Especially that dude was talking that shit about little bro, talking about little bro a fag and all that shit. But he never produced the 115 or nothing like that. So we just been waiting for him to do that. We already got it. We got something in the works for him anyway, man, because he's so stupid. He don't even know like three of my cousins, my relatives, are from his section. They wait for his bust ass to come back out here, man. But alhamdulillah. But anyway, it's just life, man. I appreciate life. You gotta appreciate life. Dudes be worried about these YouTube channels, man. If you have a job, like I do, I have a job. I have different type of income coming in. I'm not gonna say, but it's like you don't worry about this. You do your 1, 2 steps, and you just keep it moving. A lot of these dudes, I think the reactionary channels are the ones that they have more content to react to, but I think they be trying to just react to the gang culture. But that stuff is drying up, and I don't think they understand that it's drying up, man. It's like there's a lot of wealth of information out here where you can react to certain events, um, the tragedies of what's going on in society, on the reaction on how the police is doing certain individuals, um, just certain everything. There's just different things that you can react to, man. It's like right now. If I can make content. I'm seeing so much shit that goes on and transpiring right now. Um, it's crazy. What's going on, brother? Um, it's a wealth of content out here that dudes can expound on. But a lot of dudes, they just like drama. A lot of brothers and a lot of content creators, they create, certain plays and certain fake ass beefs uh, and things of that nature, man. And they just not being genuine with themselves and with their content or nothing like that, man. And that just blows me away. You know, um, and you got a lot of dudes that glorify, the penitentiary, the gang culture. They tell these stories about the squabbles, and all that old weird shit, man. That stuff is weird, man. It's like, man, how can you glorify, you know, um, putting your hands on a person or try to harm another person? How can you glorify that shit? That just blows me away. Um, and another thing is like they glorify the penitentiary, they glorify being a gang member, they glorify killing an innocent individual. They just glorify just so much shit, man. And the first thing that come out their mouth, man, it's like free the homie or free that person or free this person. And here's it is, you got another family on the different other side that's suffering. And that's what these dudes do, man. These dudes is crazy, man. These dudes is bipolar. Um, I don't know what's wrong with them. Look at the police right here. And that's just what that is. What's up, brothers? Yeah, I know them too. They be watching our channels. They be coming up. Sometimes, man, this is crazy, man. I was here yesterday doing some rocking chairs, uh, some pulls, and one of them walked up to me and was like, "Hey, man," um, he offered me to come speak somewhere. Dealing with some at-risk kids. He knew my name. He knew it. Basically, he probably knew everything about me, dealing with, when you do a background on whatever it is. But he offered me to come speak for to some at-risk kids, and he gave me the location. He gave me the information. I'm gonna go do it. Alhamdulillah, they're gonna pay me for it, but they didn't even have to pay me, man. I just would have went and done it just on some awareness type shit, man. And that's what it should be about, man. Awareness. Don't and this, what amazed me? All these dudes, all these ex gang members, uh, uh, these um these ex gang members, bro. They get up here and they glorify the bullshit, and they've been through the rigmarole. That would really gets me, man. Especially dealing with the dinosaur dudes. They've been through the rigmarole, right? And then when they go through the rigmarole, they don't expound on the bullshit, the tragedies, the selective politics. They homies getting raped, they homies getting killed, they homies getting backdoored, they homegirls getting raped, their families suffering, everybody around them is suffering. So they don't tell you guys about the bullshit, the fuckery, but they'll sit there and they'll tell you guys about glorifying. If you go to the penitentiary, you're gonna be a real nigga. They tell you if you go, this is how diabolical and how mental disturbed these dudes are. They'll tell you if you go to a level 4, you catch a case, you solid. You go to the county jail, you solid. You go to a level 4, you a real nigga, and all this type of stuff. They tell you in order they tell you and brainwash you to the point to tell you and get you to believe that the only way you can be a solid dude or a real nigga is to go spend 10, 15, 20, 30 years out your life. That's bullshit. That shit is diabolical. I'm telling you, man, that shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy. It's just diabolical, man. It's just insane, man. You know, dudes really believe that their way of life is better than a person that's out here taking care of their family, a person that established their own business of being an entrepreneur, a person that's not going to the penitentiary, bro, a person that has a license to carry. They believe that these individuals that normal people that do normal shit that pay taxes, they believe that these people are below them and are pieces of shit, but they never been to the penitentiary. They never been to jail. They never caught a case. They never did anything. But by them catching cases and doing all that weird shit, they would believe that they're better than them. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy, bro. I was like, man, you dudes are so lost. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro, but out of experience, when you sit back and you look at like for instance, I could see the beach right here, right? I could see everything. I see the jet skis, the sailboats. I could see the water. I could see the pier. I could see all these women, all these men. The women walking around here with damn near nothing on, and all that type of shit. So I can see the field in 3D, right? So if I see the field in 3D, when you come from that culture and you get in some type of trouble, or you step back and you take a look at the bullshit and the fuckery that you was a part of, you would no longer want to be a part of that shit, bro. For sure. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that, bro. Right. They believe in that shit. That shit is wicked, man. You know, it's like they have a playbook. The gang members, the gang culture, they have a playbook. And they playbook is basically to be a predator and a prey in your community, to fuck over your own homies, uh, to be a confidential informant because you have them, um, to catch cases and shit like that, and tell on this dude and tell on that dude, and all this and all that. It's just crazy, man. That's their playbook. But these dudes are real dudes, bro. So And it just blows me away, man. Even, that's why I try to encourage brothers, man. If you're gonna be a content creator, you can't be no gang member, man, because you're gonna be limited on everything you create content on. You're gonna be limited. It's just certain stuff you can't say, certain stuff you can't do, and if you're not a boy, it's gonna bother you. You be like, nigga, who the hell you think you is? You can't tell me what to do. But you're gonna get into it with these dudes because you still want to be accepted a part of that culture, right? And then if you come on the internet and you talk about you creating peace, you pushing peace, you can't be a gang member pushing peace, man. You can't be talking about on the dead homies pushing peace, bro. Um, you can't talk about on gangsters or neighborhood or on bloods or whatever you from. You can't be talking about that and you pushing peace. You know, you can't do that. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to do that. That white woman, her baby. I watched the baby walk like from the middle of the sand over there, and I was watching the baby, and the baby was walking away, and she just now realized the baby was damn near in the beginning in the middle of the damn parking lot. Tell you, boy, people better take care of your kids, man. I could have been some serial type, stalker type, trafficking type dude or something like that, man. You got to take care of your kids, man. Pay attention to that, because that's like a all-time high type situation. You know, she was so busy occupied with her phone that she didn't pay attention to her. And then she finally looked up and paid attention to it. And then she came and just got the baby. But hey, alhamdulillah for that. But anyway, man, it's like these guys, man, they run these fake plays. They talking about they're this and they that. And you know what? And they all, this is what I get. They all say, this is what they all say. I'm telling you the truth. I'm the only one telling you the truth. Nah, nigga, you lying. You lying. You lying. There's no way, brother, that you can sit there and you can be having a confrontation with a dude that you don't even know. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know his history. You don't know nothing about him. All only thing you going about is that you going off some third or fourth hand information that you got from somebody that probably don't even know that dude. This is what these dudes do, man. They run fake content, they lie on dudes all day, and they don't never come back and clean it up. They'll never come back and apologize. But one person I would give that to that come back and apologize, I'll give Young and Hefe that. Young and Hefe always came back and cleaned some shit up, bro. And 600. 600 do that shit too. But the rest of these dudes, they don't do that, man. They be so prideful and they don't want to be wrong because everybody want to be right. These dudes don't want to be wrong, bro. You know. And the cold part about it is they so stupid. Just all they have to do. It's like the content that they ran that wasn't true, it wasn't actual or factual. All they got to do is react off that content that they ran. That's more content for them, if you understand what I'm saying. And they can point out, the inconsistency that where they was wrong at and shit like that, because it's an education process when they doing stuff like that. When you do stuff like that, you're teaching people on how to basically correct a wrong or on how to engage in the right information. These dudes scared to do that, bro. They don't want to do that because they always want to be right. They never want to come back and clear that shit up because they too prideful. It be their ego, it be their pride, it be all that type of shit. These dudes, that's why I don't respect. You know what? I don't respect. I don't respect a lot of them dudes, bro. I be honest with you. I don't. Um, I don't get in a mess. I'm not gonna. I don't go back and forth with dudes or none of that type of shit. I don't do that type of shit, man. I don't give a shit what you're talking about. If you think you're right, you think you're right. Okay, alhamdulillah. I don't. I do not care. And you have a lot of brothers, man. They be thin skinned. You know, brothers can't take nobody saying nothing about them. And I've seen a lot of brothers inside that system that been in jail just because somebody called them a name, called them a bitch, a buster, a coward, and something like that. And they couldn't handle that. And so they blow the man head off. And now they in the penitentiary for the rest of their life because behind a word. If you're not a bitch, why would you even respond to that? If you're not a fag, if you're not a buster, if you're not a rat, if you're not a snitch, if you're not any of them type of things, why would you even care, man? It's just like they're not in your world, especially in this metaverse. See, this metaverse is different now, where dudes just get up there and they just say the wildest, crazy shit. When I was growing up, it's just certain shit you couldn't say, certain shit you couldn't do. You couldn't say certain shit and couldn't do certain shit. And you just couldn't do that. You had to be actually in somebody's face, getting at somebody, when they saying the word, marking them out. They get on the internet and these dudes get behind a phone and a computer and they are scream and holler. And these dumbass dudes, their first thing they say, oh man, he marked him out. But that's crazy. That's like, man, I'll be like, you explain to me how you screaming and hollering on a phone or on the internet, and you talking shit to a dude, and the first thing you say you mark somebody out. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. This is why I say, man, things are different. Society is different. The culture is different. The culture is soft now. Um, a lot of these brothers, man, and these sisters, man, they on drugs, they on alcohol, they don't take care of their body, they drinking everything, they eat everything, they not being conscious of nothing. They don't know how to do push-ups, they don't know how to do squats, they don't know how to, walk, they don't know how to do anything. They just out here just want to get high out every day, hang out on the block or on the internet all day, playing on the internet and all that old weird shit. They do not occupy their mind in a way where they can basically elevate to a different level, man. If a dude is doing reaction, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this right here. You see me, I have my own company. I can do what the hell I want to do. Even though I probably drop a video every now and then or every day or something like that, I don't do reaction because in order for me to do that, I have to have time to do that. I don't have time to do that, every day, all day. It's impossible for you to do that. A lot of these dudes now, let's take Poetic Flacco for example. Poetic Flacco does this for a living because Poetic Flacco then found his niche and he's making some serious money. Now you have a lot of these other brothers, they didn't found their niche and they trying to make some serious money, but they have to do it all day, every day. This is their job, right? This is their job to get on the internet, especially the dudes the reactionary dudes. They get on the internet, they'll find some shit, and they'll talk about some shit, and basically they'll see some shit, and it can be way to the left. The information can be way to the left, and they'll react to it, and they'll put their spin on it. And sometimes, man, I be looking at some of these reactionary dudes. I be like, dude, I know you just didn't say no shit like that, man. How the fuck you get that out of that? You know, it's just like dudes put these narratives out there and these concepts out there, not knowing that the masses of the people are sheep, they are followers. Uh, you got a lot of dudes, man, and a lot of, the individuals out here, just men and women, in regards of race, color, or creed. You got people out here that they will sit out here and they will basically listen to you, right? They'll listen to the shit you got going on the internet, and they will really believe that shit. And some people will react to that shit on its highest level, man. You know, people would do that. And this is why, man, when you a content creator or you a person that putting out the information out there, you got to be careful on how you put information out there because some people would literally take what you're saying and to believe that it's truth and it be factual. And this is what a lot of brothers do, man. A lot of brothers does that shit. They sit there and they lie on dudes all day and every day. You got certain brothers, man. They're say they're so consumed with certain individuals and they never have met these dudes, they never have a word about with these dudes and stuff like that. I had a brother call me yesterday and he was like, man, what's your problem with Big U? And I don't even know this brother, man, right? I say, bro, if you don't know, I'm not gonna tell you because you don't know the history. You know, it ain't my job to explain to you why I have a problem with somebody because you don't know. If I go in depth on details, either you're gonna believe me or you're not gonna believe me. And if you do believe me, it's gonna blow your mind. on the wealth of information that I have on why I don't like this dude, right? So I just don't go into it, man. It's like, bro, I don't have time to explain nothing to nobody. I could have took that call, man. Shit, I'll call him back. Oh, that was an important call. They ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that was my lawyer right there. I'll call him back. That was my attorney right there. I got some stuff going on with certain dudes uh, that slander my little brother, and we on top of that. We finna we pushing go on them. So it's like man, brothers don't be genuine when they be on this app, bro. You know, uh, they gotta act like they big and they bad, and they this and they that, and or they got this going on, they got that going on, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. The average dude on this app, bro, um, the average individual on this app, bro, he has money coming in from somewhere else. Don't think it's all about the money because if you don't have a bunch of subscribers, if you're not getting a bunch of views, you're not gonna make that much money, man. You're not gonna make the money that to pay your bills or nothing like that. You're not gonna be a Poetic Flacco, or you're not gonna be no Adam 22. You're not gonna be no Aiden Ross, or you're not gonna be these type of individuals, man. You're not gonna really make that much money, bro. Um, I tell dudes, man, I always encourage dudes, man, hey, dude, if you don't have no day job or something like that, don't leave your job, to basically get on YouTube and think you're gonna bubble up, man, because that shit takes time. Uh, so it takes time, man. So I just be trying to encourage brothers, man, to stop the fuckery, man. Stop being on this internet, man, acting like you tough and you really not like that, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this, and believe me when I tell you this. Any dude on this internet any dude on this internet is talking about how hard they is and how tough they is and how down they is, never been in the trenches. They never had that reputation because they still trying to prove to the world that they real, real tough. Hey, I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta call my attorney. I'm gonna get back with you guys later. You guys have a good day. Be blessed. I'm gonna take y'all on a little trip with me because I'm taking a month off. I think it's well deserved. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been making a lot of moves. I'm gonna take care of my peoples before I leave. A few of my peoples, I'm gonna to make sure I took take care of them, and I'm finna live a little bit, you know. But I've been on the grind. I've been on talking about a vicious grind, and I just don't be sitting there telling nobody about it because you can't trust nobody. Slum